Hey guys, I'm just gonna wait until at least one person starts watching before I start talking about some new things that we got going on. I will start by showing you guys what I've got in my office. So I'm decorating my office, and I read recently that the things that you surround yourself with, even if it's subconscious, are going to be things that you're absorbing. So to surround yourself with really positive things all the time. So my favorite picture that I just got is this. I love it. Today is a good day for a good day. I haven't hung any of them up yet because I have a bunch of pictures that are still coming in, and I'm making a gallery wall for one of my walls. So that one I love very much. But now that I have some of you here, I'm going to start talking about two new things that we've got going on at WAG, and I just want to double check which ones I said I would talk about first. So first I'm going to talk about WAG Unplugged. So this is going to be probably a pretty short Facebook Live session because I'm just talking about some updating news. I don't have any real topics I want to talk about, and I'm not going to do like a full-on Q&A like I normally do, but I will take questions about the things that I'm talking about. So the first thing that some of you already know about, because we've contacted you personally, but not everybody knows, and we're going to send out a big email on Sunday about it to anybody who doesn't hear from this during this Facebook Live. But we're starting a new initiative called WAG Unplugged. That's hashtag WAG Unplugged. This is because, you know, in February of 2015 is when Working Against Gravity first officially started, and we're a completely remote company, and we were just 3 people at the time, and it's now turned into, we have 14 coaches, and we realized quickly that we're working 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, and that is us being on our computers. We're sending emails now, sending messages in Seismic, checking in with clients every single day, and realizing once we got enough people, that there was enough people complaining about the same things, is that we're really connected, and we can reach so many people, and we have so much more opportunity because we're on the internet, but we're also more disconnected in some ways. So we were really brainstorming of a way to do this, especially since the 24-hour rule is super important to us. So we want to make sure that every single communication is answered within 24 hours, whether that's a message or a check-in, and that's exactly why we make your check-ins on Seismic within 24 hours, because we want you guys to have the accountability of the 24-hour rule as well. So what we're going to be doing starting April 1st, which there's going to be a video about it, there's going to be an email about it, there's going to be a couple blog posts about it, but April 1st we're starting something called WAG Unplugged, and that is from 12 a.m. to 11:59 p.m. every single Saturday. Working Against Gravity is going offline. That means that we are not open for business, we're not answering any emails in the info box, we're not answering any emails to your coaches' emails. There won't be any check-ins on Saturdays. I think there's still a couple that are on Saturdays, but those are going to get moved to other days. So if you're one of those, I think there's only 9 people that have check-ins on Saturdays. So if you're one of those 9 people, your coach has probably already tried to reach out to you to switch it to another day. So definitely reach out to them, switch it to a day other than Saturday, and it's as if we're taking Saturday out of the work week. So we're still going to answer all communications within 24 hours, but it's only going to be within 24 hours of business hours. So imagine you're taking that Saturday out of the work week. So you send a message at 10 p.m. on Friday. You're not going to get a response necessarily. You'll get a response within 24 hours of business hours, which means you'll get a response before 10 p.m. on Sunday. So this means on Saturday, we're going to be taking some time to unplug. And what better way to do this than to get you guys all to hold us accountable? So we all love being connected to the computer. We love being on social media. We love sharing our experiences on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook and all of that. But we wanted to create this as a group initiative and to make it a really big part of our culture and the the things that we stand for. This is what we believe in. We always talk about, being present and taking some time to love on your family and love on your spouses and your kids and your friends, and do these things that you wouldn't normally do, that you maybe don't feel like you have time for. And so we think that if we all do this together, it's going to be a lot harder to find an excuse not to. So like, why not do that hike? Or why not climb that mountain? Or why not take that day trip and drive a couple hours to go to a place that you've always wanted to, or a movie that you've always wanted to see? So we're going to make this a completely company-wide initiative. There's going to be a page on the website that's specifically dedicated to this. The hashtag WAG Unplugged is going to pull photos if you're posting on Sunday, even if you're posting on Saturday. This really isn't about being unplugged from technology. It's really just unplugging from anything that keeps you plugged in. So unplugging from work, unplugging from communities that you're a part of, unplugging from anything that is considered like the noise going on in your life, whether that's stress from work or stress from friends or whatever it is. Just taking a moment to be present with people that are right in front of you, they're not behind a computer screen, and posting about it on social media to encourage others to do it. If your friends that are not WAG members want to be a part of the initiative, I think that would be awesome. And all of the coaches are going to be participating as well. And I hope that you guys join us in using this as an excuse to just go do something awesome, whether it's go meditate and do something that makes you uncomfortable, take a yoga class, all that kind of stuff. And with this opportunity, taking a full day off and not being online, even though we are an online company, I know it's kind of strange, and it's honestly terrifying for me because I want to be available to you guys all the time. So this decision was not made lightly, and I actually have a little bit of anxiety about it, and I hope that everyone's going to be happy about it and excited about it. So I hope that everyone participates, and we have a bunch of options, and April's going to be dedicated to being present. So our blog is going to be full of ideas of things for you to do, and different videos of what I do to unplug, what my husband Michael does to unplug. We have some videos of Coach Crosby, of Coach Kelsey, who anyone who's being coached by Kelsey knows that she's on a different mountain almost every single day. So we went on a mountain and we filmed some footage for that, and we're really excited about it. So I really hope that this is going to help us all rejuvenate. And if you've ever been burnt out before, you've ever done something for too long, you always get that, even if it's something you love and you're super passionate about, when you take some time off, you're like, oh, I'm ready to get back after it. If you take some time off tracking and you love tracking, you go on a vacation, you're like, I'm just so excited to get my food scale and start tracking again because it feels so good. So we're hoping that this 24 hours of just completely unplugged time is going to be rejuvenating for everybody and get everyone motivated to get after the work week again. And for our coaches as well, to get really excited about coaching again and give you 100% of themselves and not ever reach that point of being burnt out on something that they're so incredibly passionate about. So, we're still a baby company. We're still only, just over 2 years old of being incorporated. So I'm hoping that this is going to be a really positive movement. And if any of you guys have any questions about WAG Unplugged, you can definitely post them in the comments. I already see some people commenting. I totally agree that the coaches have to take care of themselves. You can only really take care of other people as much as you take care of yourself. So this is definitely a movement in the right direction of, getting some time for the coaches to spend with their family and to spend with their friends and to not necessarily be, plugged in doing all these check-ins. So if you have a check-in on Friday, I know your coach has reached out to you already, and if your check-in is on Saturday still, that should get moved. But if your check-in is on Friday, I know that any messages or check-ins that are sent before a specific time, each coach is different because they're in different time zones, but they'll still be answered on Friday, or you just might have to wait until Sunday. And I hope that you're so distracted on Saturday from participating in WAG Unplugged that you don't even realize. So that's number one. Number two, which might be a little bit more exciting for you guys, especially the WAG veterans, is we have a completely new program coming out. So when I first started Against Gravity, I'll admit, I watched this movie, the Steve Jobs movie, not the one with Ashton Kutcher, but the other one that was in theaters. And he mentions in the movie closed end to end, that nothing is allowed to be compatible with Mac. It's just Mac products. And something about that appealed to me. And I was like, oh, we only have one price. We only have one program, and we never discount it. And it's just one price, one program, and that's what it is forever. And for a long time, I was like, that's just all we're going to do. And then I was getting feedback from you guys on, you're reaching 6 months of this program, 1 year of this program, 2 years of this program, and you're at a point where you're kind of ready to start being less accountable, and you don't need the coach check-ins every single week, and you still want the accountability, but you maybe want to take a step back a little bit and then also not have the full financial burden of this program. So I've been thinking about this for almost an entire year, since last summer. And we finally have developed a program. I'm going to call it the WAG Alumni Program right now, but that might change because we're not 100% sold on the name, so it might change. We're going to call it the WAG Alumni, and that is for anybody who's been on the program for 6 months consecutive or more. So if you've been on the program for 6 consecutive months, you're going to have an opportunity to upgrade or downgrade, I guess, to a little bit of a cheaper option that's going to be a little bit different than the current WAG program. What it's going to do is it's going to be a once a month check-in instead of once a week, and we're also going to have an entire educational series as well as a specific knowledge base for those of you that are in Seismic. I think there's only a couple of you that aren't. There's going to be a specific knowledge base that's dedicated to the issues that come with being a little bit less accountable to a coach and more accountable to yourself. So there's going to be an email series as well as a knowledge base that's going to talk about, the issues that come with the scale when you're not being super diligent. If you want to transition into intuitive eating, if you want to not track your macros at all, if you are going on vacation, if you're being only accountable to yourself and less accountable to your coaches. We're going to talk about the strategies that are involved with that. So I think maybe it took so long because it took me a long time to figure out how to do that for myself. And I guess I would consider myself a WAG alumni. I've been at a point where I've been without a coach for a while now, and I check in with a coach every once in a while just for like a little check-in to give some objective feedback. But overall, I pretty much manage my own nutrition, and I think it took some time to figure out how to do that for myself and how I could teach that to others. So I think I'm pretty confident that we have a really amazing program available to you guys. I'm super excited about it, and it's not 100% ready yet though. So I'm coming online just because I know a lot of clients are asking their coaches about it. So the date that I can say that this will be available is going to be May 15th. So that's 2 months from now. So the reason why it's going to take so long is because we have some things in Seismic that we have to actually develop and build now that we're in this software. And the reason that it took us so long to get here is just imagine the administrative burden of an email trying to differentiate who's an alumni and who's not. Who's supposed to only get once a month check-ins and who's supposed to only get once a week. So now Seismic's going to be able to differentiate that for us. So what it's going to look like for you is that a little badge. This is tentative. It might change if we test it and it looks weird and doesn't really work. But on your dashboard, you'll have a badge that pops up when you've been with us for 6 consecutive months. And you're going to be able to essentially flip on the alumni program. And that's going to change your profile to an alumni profile. It's going to be noticeable to your coach. Your coach is going to know that you're an alumni. You're going to be able to see that you're an alumni. Coach's end. Super similar for you guys. Check-in process is going to be exactly the same. Might change in the future once we start getting some feedback from you guys that are on the program. Like maybe you want your check-ins to be a little bit different. But right now we're going to keep it pretty simple. We're going to collect feedback from you like we always do, and we'll change it and make it better and turn it into the best thing that it possibly can be. When you are on the alumni program as well, so it is going to be a cheaper option. I don't know exactly what the price is going to be like right now, but it's going to be cheaper than our current pricing. And for anybody that's well below the current pricing that's been with us, let's say for 2 years, we'll definitely work something out on that front. And this is also something that you're going to be able to turn on and off. So I would imagine if you're a weightlifter or if you're, you're in the alumni program, you do once a month check-ins and you have a wedding coming up, or you have a specific time goal and you want the accountability of the once a week check-ins again, you're going to be able to turn it back on. So you're going to be able to easily switch from being an alumni back to being a regular student, I guess, of the Working Against Gravity program. So you'll be able to go back and forth between WAG alumni and the regular program, and this is only once you've been with the program for 6 consecutive months. So if you're with us for 5 consecutive months and you decide to leave, you will not be able to qualify for the alumni program. The reason why I like the word alumni is because you kind of have to graduate. And once you decide to switch into the alumni program, there's actually going to be a quiz. And we're going to give you guys a quiz that's going to ask you a bunch of questions to make sure that you're ready. So it's going to be a quiz that's asking you about a bunch of different things that we think you should have a pretty solid handle on if you're going to go into the alumni program. And if you get a certain percentage of the quiz correct, or I guess like it's going to be 1 to 3 rating of different scenarios. And if you have too many 1s or too many 2s, we're going to suggest that you stay in the regular program. And if you're killing it, you're crushing it, your 3's all the way down, then we're going to be like, you're totally ready for the alumni program and put you right in there. So you're going to be able to go back and forth. You're going to have to graduate to be in the alumni program. And that's pretty much all I've got. And May 15th is the day that's going to go. So on the way there, we'll have updates for what that price is going to look like. We're going to have updates for how that's going to look for you guys in Seismic. And then once it's rolling, I mean, I'm waiting for the moment that it's going to break, because I know it's not going to be perfect, and I know that this is something we've never done before. And when you've done the same thing for over 2 years, and you've gotten pretty good at it, and now you're all of a sudden throwing a whole new wrench into the mix, it's definitely going to break at some point, and I'm really excited for you guys to give me that feedback, and I hope that you're going to be open with how you're feeling about it and how it's working for you. And yeah, so I'm really excited for the 2 new things going on, WAG Unplugged and the WAG Alumni. So if you guys have any questions at all, I knew this would be a short one because I can only talk about these programs so much, and we don't have that much information available on them yet. So if you have any questions about the WAG Unplugged or the WAG Alumni Initiative, I will answer any of those questions now. And I'm going to read the comments over here. Baby. I love that you can jump in back into the regular program. Yeah, so the reason we wanted to do it back and forth is we thought about the scenarios of, maybe you've gotten a little bit too far off and you really want to get back to the weekly check-ins, or if you're a weightlifter that just had a meet and you want to take some time off of tracking diligently, you're going to be able to go back. I have a meet in 4 months, I need to cut weight, so then you get to opt back in. Question, with the WAG alumni, if you switch it on and then off later, will that affect and impact who your coach might be, or will you be factored into their client load proactively? We're definitely going to work that through. Thanks, Jacqueline, for the question. It's a really good question. I am going to say that you're going to keep the same coach. That client-coach relationship is really, really important to us, especially if it's one that's working. I mean, personalities don't mesh all the time, and if you're not looking for a fresh, new perspective, we're definitely going to try and keep you with the same coach, especially the coach. And I would imagine that your coach wants to keep you. I mean, I would feel uncomfortable giving any of my clients away to any of the other coaches, and I know all the coaches probably feel exactly the same. I know when there has been switches before, coaches are always asking the other coaches how the clients are doing and things like that. So I think it's pretty safe to say that we're going to keep the same coaches with the same clients when you're opting in and out. The coach availability should be factored into that, because you're still part of their client load. So I think that might be one of the things that breaks, but for right now I'm going to say that we're going to keep the same coach with the same client. Is turning on and off alumni a month-by-month thing, or can you go from alumni to full program, say 2 to 3 weeks, and then back to monthly check-ins, if that makes sense? Isabel, that totally makes sense. I think that the way logistically, from an administrative perspective, the easiest way to do that is the time frames in which you could switch it on and off would be in month periods, just because of the the billing system, we'd have to like prorate 1 week of the month if you're switching pricing between the months. So I would imagine that it would have to be on a month-to-month thing. So you could do like 1 month in the alumni program and you have one check-in for that month, and then you have 1 month where you're checking in every single week. Or, you know, you're in the alumni program, you switch 1 month of weekly check-ins every single week that month, and then you can switch back to the alumni program after that. I think that's a really good question, and something that I'm actually going to write down so I can walk through that. Yeah, that's a really good question. And like I said, we're probably going to make a million mistakes with this program, but I'm excited to see what they are. And I know that this is something so many people have been asking for. It's kind of like you love WAG so much, you're ready to transition a little bit, not to do a weekly check-in. You don't really have that much to say in your weekly check-ins every week, but maybe once a month you'd have compiled all of the stuff to talk about. So it gives you an opportunity to do that once a month, but instead of cutting off WAG cold turkey, you know, cutting off anything cold turkey is not fun. So this is going to be like a little bit of a smoother transition into doing this on your own. And we want people to graduate. This is what this is all about. This is all about sustainable lifestyle habits, behavior changes that you can take with you forever. And you have those skills in your back pocket to be able to conquer your nutrition anytime you want. And if you need and want that person that you know is going to be there, so at least once a month you can tap into that resource and make sure that you're still on track and that your thinking is correct. We want to provide that for you, and I'm really excited to be able to give people things that are really going to help them succeed in the long term. So if we don't have any other questions, I am going to say goodbye to you guys, and we'll be back next week with another Facebook Live every Friday. We've got somebody coming on live. If you want anyone in particular, so let's do a little game. So if you want to nominate your coach to go live, if they haven't gone live or they have gone live, it doesn't really matter. Let's go in the comments and tag your coach. I know there's a couple coaches that haven't gone live yet, but I won't call them out. But if you want to see them, maybe if enough nominations come in the comments, they will muster up the courage to get on Facebook Live and talk to you guys about some topics or some things that are really passionate to them. So if you want to, tag your coach in the comments, just write their name or hashtag coach, whatever their first name is, and we can tally up all the votes afterwards and see who should go live. Brittany, I totally agree. Mel is a great suggestion. So anybody else who wants to nominate Mel or Josh or Chris, again, Francesco, Kelsey, Kate, Taylor, Yvette, whoever it is that you want to see go live, put their name in the comments. And I'll see you guys later.